Hello everybody, my name is Zool, and welcome to the Fallout 3 Mod Showcase.
Set the world on fire.
In today's episode, we are going to be looking at a mod that greatly improves the atmosphere of Fallout 3. This mod is by far one of my favorite lighting mods now. I can't believe I haven't used it up until now. Today we're going to be looking at DC Moods. So, what is DC Moods? Well, it's a lighting mod. It doesn't feature any weather changes, so those of you who like to use a different weather mod, that is still welcome. And it features darker nights, something that I personally really like. The mod is incredibly atmospheric, and it's also ENB ready. The mod author himself actually has an ENB preset meant to go with this mod, so you can make your game look even more fantastic than it already does with the mod installed. From what I could find out digging around, it looks like it was kind of based upon Fallout, but then expanded upon and created into its own mod. It is phenomenally beautiful, and it makes the DC wasteland look a million times better. But don't let me say that. Let's look at some clips from the game that really show off just how great this mod is. So here we are right outside 101, and as you can see, the typical green smudge on the lens exists here. On the right hand side, we'll see DC Moods, which makes the game look a lot nicer. It gives us a much clearer sky. One quick word of note, I have added about 10% brightness to these, because I know YouTube has a tendency to darken them, so try out the mod for yourself for exact color matching, because I am not very good at that. So as we can see, the sky is a lot brighter. Things are just looking so much better than they were before. I really enjoy the way that the sky is nice and blue and not oversaturated like it is in certain mods. Here's an area here in Springvale which kind of shows us the same effect. The area here kind of looks okay, but then when you compare it to the blue skies of DC Moods, you sort of realize that, maybe the wasteland doesn't look quite as good as it could. The sky in particular looks better, but also the ground. It sort of brings a bit more life to the death. I mean, it's been 200 years since the bombs dropped, so it would kind of make sense that a lot of that green radioactivity would disappear. So that's what this mod does. If you're a fan of Fallout, I really recommend this one. It also does have a couple of cool, interesting effects. So here I am outside GNR. This is a place that I don't really like for screenshots, but with DC Moods installed, we'll see that there's sort of a fog existing here. It makes the place look a bit more mysterious and overcast. These were taken at the exact same time. The only difference here is the mod installation. And once we get to a full screen screenshot here, we will notice just how cool this makes it look. It makes the DC wasteland look a bit more mysterious and foreboding, kind of scary really. And I am a huge fan of this look. I think that this really shows the ruins of the wasteland. Finally, our typical night shot in a location that I generally like to choose for night shots just because of the darkness in the area. If we look to the right, we'll see that not only does it darken things, but it also makes things a bit more vibrant. Lights and fires and stuff, like the flashing of that vending machine, look a bit better, and the sky itself has a deeper, darker blackness to it. This makes a ton of sense because night doesn't tend to desaturate things as much as the game makes it look. It does, however, make things really dark, so you're going to need to bring a flashlight or your Pip-Boy. Which brings us to our second mod. The second mod that I'm going to be covering actually complements the first extremely well. It's called Fallout Streetlights, and it's another simple little mod that adds streetlights to Fallout 3. All these lights are in normal places. It basically just makes most of the streetlights works, but not only that, it also adds FX beams, so the lights will flicker and kind of look a little bit different to add to the atmosphere of the game. I really love this mod. It works really well with DC Moods and Fallout, and it has a modifiable innie. So here is actually that first area that I show for nights, and if we look over on the right hand side of the screen, we'll see that there is actually some lights off in the distance here. And that's really kind of the thing this mod does, is just adds a lot of lights and turns them on. Here we are outside Springvale Elementary, and as we can see, there is some lights here. There's not much more to say. This is outside GNR without the Streetlights mod, and it looks pretty dark with DC Moods installed. And if we get a little closer and look at the streetlights here, we can see that it really improves the atmospherics of it. I especially like the way that back streetlight flickers on and off. Here is just another area outside GNR with, again, some lights on. I just sort of filmed some fighting here with some Brotherhood of Steel versus some Super Mutants. Thought it looked pretty cool, especially with the lighting. Here is just a random area in DC with some more streetlights. Again, that's really all this mod adds, but it looks really cool. This mod also lets you get some really atmospheric shots like this one here of the GNR building. If we compare that to without the streetlights, we will immediately notice how much better this mod makes the world look. Just look at the difference and judge for yourself. I mean, honestly, which one do you think looks better? Honestly, the lighting really just improves the atmosphere so much more. It really makes the whole thing to me. So both of these mods have earned a place in my load order. Anyways, I'm not going to be covering the installation today because unlike a lot of other mods, these are just super simple activate with the Nexus Mod Manager kind of deals, so there's nothing really to worry about. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. Please give me some feedback in the comments below and consider subscribing to my channel. I cover a lot of other games and a lot of other mods, and I am always open to suggestions. I take all suggestions very seriously, so thank you. Until the next time, however, I have been Zool. Have an excellent day.